months of her life, my mother campaigned to draw attention to the horrific and indiscriminate impact of landmines.
The night before the most watched funeral of the 20th century, a man walked alone into a room with his dead sister's coffin, unfolded a piece of paper, and read every single word of it to her. Not to a camera, not to a rehearsal audience, but to Diana. He wanted her to hear it first. That man was Charles Spencer, the 9th Earl Spencer, the youngest brother of the most photographed woman who ever lived. What he read to her that night was not just a eulogy. It was a vow, a promise made in private before the world ever heard a syllable of it. For nearly 3 decades since, with zero fanfare and zero press releases, he has kept every word of it. No documentaries, no memoir deals, no carefully timed exclusives to friendly press. Just silence, and a guilt so private and so deep that people close to him say it has quietly shaped every decision he has made since the day they buried Diana on that island at Althorpe. So, when a glossy documentary proposal landed on his desk carrying the logos of Netflix, Prince Harry, and Meghan Markle, Charles Spencer read it, set it down, and replied with exactly 4 words, "Is this a joke?" Those 4 words were not arrogance, nor were they old money contempt for the cameras. They were 28 years of answers compressed into a single sentence. And Harry, of all people, never saw it coming. Welcome back to the channel. Tonight, we are going to unpack the hidden architecture of a royal collision that has been building for years. We will look at the pitch, the secret they were counting on him to keep, and why that 4-word reply may have just changed the Sussex story forever. To truly understand this moment, we have to look at who Charles Spencer is, and why the world has largely forgotten the role he plays as the ultimate gatekeeper of Diana's legacy. Before we go a single step further, let me ask you something. When did you last think about Charles Spencer? Not Diana, not Harry, not William, Charles Spencer specifically. Most people, if they are honest, can name exactly one moment. Westminster Abbey, September 6, 1997. A global audience of roughly 2 billion people watched a young man in a black suit standing at a lectern, speaking words so charged they detonated applause from the streets outside and rolled it like thunder into the nave of the church. He promised, and this is the word that matters, promised, that Diana's sons would be raised with warmth and imagination, shielded from the cold institutional rigidity that had crushed their mother. He promised her blood family would never let the system have them. He said it to the Queen's face, to Prince Philip's face, to the future king sitting feet away. He said it in front of 2 billion witnesses, and he did not flinch once. And then, he disappeared back into Northamptonshire. That is the last time most people clocked him. That invisibility, that long, deliberate silence, is precisely what makes what is happening now so significant. Charles Spencer is the head of a family that has held its land for 5 centuries, and he has spent every year since 1997 doing something almost no other figure connected to Diana has ever managed. He kept his promise. Think about that. In a media ecosystem built entirely on Diana, her face on magazine covers, her dresses in museums, her voice in documentaries, her image on everything from postage stamps to perfume bottles, Charles Spencer has never once monetized the access he has. He has never sold the archive, never licensed the grounds, and never given an interview that opened the vault even a crack. Every Diana documentary you have ever watched was built from the same public domain footage, the same recycled clips, and the same photographs the whole world already owns. Charles Spencer has never loaned the originals, not once. Ask yourself why, and then ask yourself what it would take, what level of trust and what purity of purpose for a man like that to finally open the door. Later, we will look at how this protective stance became the ultimate wall for Harry and Meghan's multi-million-dollar media empire. But first, we must trace how warmth curdled into something much colder. It started, as so many things in this family do, with something small, beautiful, and apparently innocent. At the royal wedding evening reception in 2018, Meghan Markle arrived wearing Diana's aquamarine ring. That pale blue stone was instantly recognizable to anyone who had ever followed Diana's story. In that first moment, from where Charles Spencer stood watching, it probably felt rather lovely. Someone new, someone his nephew adored, choosing to carry Diana into the most important night of her life. It felt like remembrance. Maybe it even felt like family. Then came the butterfly earrings. Then the Cartier tank watch. then the gold bracelets.
Right then, you've just listened to the song. It's the first time I've heard it as well. There's something about the words, make your own kind of music, in a way in which your late sister made her own way, not just in life, but also in the royal family.
Yeah, I think they've consciously gone for a song that captures something of Diana's spirit. And I think that's what the Diana Awards is about, really. It's very hard to continue somebody's legacy in a sort of live, meaningful way, but things like this movement at Diana Award is a fantastic way of doing it.
And look, 27 years now since that day in August in 1997, 25 years of the Diana Award. And I suppose when you see the impact it's still having, it's a reminder that yes, she touched lives in her life, but she's still touching lives in death.
I think it's really extraordinary for me as her brother to think of the impact Diana continues to have, and it's a source of great family pride for us that, yes, she's been gone for over a quarter of a century now, but I have people coming up of all ages who are still inspired by her, and a lot of the Diana Award winners I've met over the past quarter of a century, they're so intrigued by what she did, and it inspires them to give life a really good go in the right direction.
It's remarkable, because of the award, you've got people today who weren't alive in 1997 who still know about Diana, still know the huge figure that she was on the world stage, and still carry on much of her work.
Well, it is extraordinary, and it is global, the reach. I mean, I've met the international winners, and they come from all corners of the world. And Diana is somebody they look up to, they want to know about, and they want to really continue what she did in all the best elements of their life, and pushing forward really extreme and difficult causes as well, which I think resonates very much with what Diana did. It wasn't all the easy stuff, it was the stuff that mattered.
Both of her sons still support it. As we know, there's an event on Monday in New York, but of course, because of everything we know, they can't support it at the same time in the same place. Are you hopeful that perhaps one day that might change?
I think the most important thing is that they both recognise that this is something of their mothers, and they both support that, and that's really all that matters in this situation.
In the last months of her life, my mother campaigned to draw attention to the horrific and indiscriminate impact of landmines. She heard how people in these communities lived in constant fear that each step may be their last. Some believed she had stepped over the line into the arena of political campaigning. But for her, this wasn't about politics. It was about people. She knew she had a big spotlight to shine, and she used it to bring attention on the people that others had forgotten, ignored, or were too afraid to support. There she met two young boys, one Muslim, one Serbian, who had both lost legs to landmines. Malik and Zarko are now grown men and are with us today. When my mother said goodbye to Zarko that August, just weeks before her untimely death, she told him he would not be forgotten. Please help me keep her word to Zarko and Malik, and other people like them throughout the world.